When did you first notice there was something wrong?
Well, it all started on his 7th birthday, when we got him a present he's always wanted. A paint by number!
Johnny Martin, a 12-year-old Caucasian male with a sister, a dog, and 2 loving parents, always thought he would have a normal life. Unfortunately, fate had a different plan for him.
Johnny had always been a really creative and artistic kid. And I just wanted to get him something that would allow him to express himself. So I set everything up. The easel, the paintbrushes, the paint. And I just let him paint.
To every other little boy and girl, a paint by number is a beautiful gift that helps them learn how colors look next to one another. But to Johnny, it was only the beginning of a never-ending nightmare.
About 20 minutes later, I came down and I saw the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I looked at little Johnny's painting and the whole thing was wrong. The water was purple, the trees were blue, the sky was red.
It all looks great to me.
I couldn't believe it. And that's when I started to see that there was something very, very wrong.
Although the paint by number incident sent the parents into quite a bit of shock, this was nothing compared to the tragedies that were soon to come.
Can you tell us what happened the first time you noticed it?
Sure, yes. It was the day of our annual family barbecue, and I was preparing everything, just making sure it was all in place. I noticed I forgot the ketchup and the mustard in the fridge, so I asked Johnny to bring me the ketchup. He brought the mustard. I just didn't understand how he can make such an awful mistake.
I brought you the ketchup, Dad.
This is the mustard! But this is all before we realized that something was horribly wrong with him.
Can you describe what happened when you and your brother were playing?
Well, we were playing with our toys, just as we always did. Our mom had just gotten us some new Play-Doh from the store, and we were both really excited about it. She only had one rule, that we couldn't mix colors. So like I said, the two of us were just playing on the ground like we always did, when all of a sudden, Johnny mixed the colors! And the worst part was, he didn't even realize that he mixed the colors!
Poor Johnny, so unaware of all the wrong he was doing.
Has this whole experience been really hard for you?
Definitely. I mean, having a child that has something as horrible as this makes it really hard for me. I always thought that I would be able to look at rainbows with my son and stare at all the pretty colors. But knowing that I'll never be able to see them absolutely breaks my heart.
What if your brother never gets better?
I don't know what I do. I mean, I would cry every day and every night because it's just not fair. Why do other little boys and girls get to see the beauty of the world through color, and Johnny has to look at it as if it was just the black and white Snapchat filter? It's not even the best one either. Everyone knows the third one is the best.
Did it ever occur to you that it was just an honest mistake?
Yeah, this thought had gone through my mind a couple of times. I thought maybe he was rushing and grabbed the first bottle he saw, or maybe he never learned the difference between them. But that was just a lame excuse, hiding the actual problem.
Heartbroken and unsure of what could be done about their son, the parents of this poor child had nowhere else to turn. They called up the best doctor in town and begged her to help them.
So what seems to be the problem?
Well, little Johnny is having trouble distinguishing between colors. He has rapid eye movement, he's sensitive to bright lights, and he smells his food before he eats it.
Rapid eye movement. That's pretty rare for the disease that I was thinking of. So when did this all start?
Well, we noticed it started occurring when he was in kindergarten and he was learning his colors.
Well, if I'm correct, this disease is hereditary, and the mother is the carrier, even though you might not have the disease at all.
Why?
Sorry I'm late. I just came from my side job. Everything that I tested about Johnny was fairly normal for a child his age. His height was 58 inches, he weighed 90 pounds, his heart sounded good, and his blood pressure was fairly normal. His hearing tested perfectly fine, but when it came to his eyes, that's when I saw the problem. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
All of the laboratory tests included blood work, x-rays, and the urinalysis came back normal. There was only one thing left to do. I will now perform the Ishihara color test to see if little Johnny is experiencing what I believe it could be.
For the average person, looking at this chart and seeing the numbers 29 and 15 in a sea of green and orange dots should be simple. But for Johnny, this chart was just another failure.
So have you found out what's wrong with our little Johnny?
Yes, the disease he has is.
Color blindness!
The parents were absolutely shocked when they got the news. After the initial shock kicked in, the parents were completely smothered with grievance. They had absolutely no idea that their son could be colorblind.
The proper name for this little boy's disease is monochromatism, which allows him to only see in black and white. Color blindness is a genetic condition in response to how light-sensitive cells of the eyes respond to certain colors. A difference in sensitivity in just a few of these cells can make a person colorblind. It makes sense as to why your son is colorblind opposed to your daughter. Color blindness affects up to 7% of men, but less than 1% of women.
Is there anything that can be done to treat little Johnny's disease?
Unfortunately, there is no treatment for color blindness. I can prescribe some colored contacts that enhance the brightness between colors, but I must warn you, patients have reported that these contacts can confuse their vision.
What should we expect in the future, and what are the long-term effects?
It shouldn't have a huge effect on his life. It'll just prohibit him from working with electrical repairs or ever flying a plane.
After getting the diagnosis from the doctor, the parents knew they had to buckle down and deal with their son's colorblindness head-on. They took him to see a number of professional psychologists to help him cope with the disease. All of the psychologists suggested doing a number of things to help improve Johnny's quality of life. They showed him lots of old movies because they were already filmed in black and white. They bought him a white Dalmatian with black spots who he loved so much. They even gave him newspapers to read instead of colorful children's books. Although little Johnny would be missing out on quite a number of things for the rest of his life, his parents did everything they could to give him a happy and healthy childhood.